Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel for another painting tutorial. If you're new, I'm Joni Young and thanks so much for joining me today. I'm going to be showing you all step by step how to paint this little fairy by the moonlight on a 12 by 14 canvas. This is black and I just took a craft paint and just painted over a white canvas. And I've got the following colors: titanium white and Mars black that I'm going to be using for this entire painting. So we'll be making soft tones of gray, darker shades of gray, and just creating a grayscale painting. This is really fun to do, and it makes it a little bit easier if you're just a beginner painter, so you don't have to worry about color mixing except for just black and white. So you really learn a lot about shading, highlights, contrast, and easy ways to create depth working on a black canvas. So I'll explain everything step by step as we go along from start to finish for you. Feel free to pause the video, rewind at any time. Don't feel like you have to keep up at the same speed of other artists, including myself, that have been painting for a long time. It comes with practice and confidence, and the most important thing is that you're trying. So and try to stay in the moment and enjoy yourself during the entire process. Okay, so that being said, let's go over the brushes we're going to be using. Here are my series of brushes you can now purchase. I'll have a link below. We're going to be using a number 20 flat brush here, a number 14 filbert, a number 2 rigger brush, and a number 3 round brush. Okay, so we'll only be using these brushes, black and white, and a little bit of water here and there for this entire painting. I hope you guys are excited to get started. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's free if you haven't already. And let's go ahead and begin. The first thing I'm going to do is take a little bit of water on my number 20 flat brush. I'm going to take some white, load both sides, and I'm going to start creating a long oval like this. I'm going to pick up a little bit more water so I can blend it around easier. So this thins the paint out a little bit and makes it more spreadable. In order for her silhouette to show up, we need some light in the background. So this will be our main source of light. And it will just make her look like she's glowing. You can use this backdrop for so many other things. If you want to paint still life, like a vase of flowers, and just have something dramatic like this. It's just a different approach to painting something other than having the object itself bright and in full light. It's really fun to do the opposite and have backlighting, creating a beautiful silhouette and shape and outline of something. Okay, so once you have an oval like this, you can just start going around the edges. Now I'm going to take a little bit of black and make dark gray. So this way we're going to just ease into that black and create a soft fade. So we'll have black, white, and then gray in between. You can make the oval as wide as you want. It's up to you how much of a soft gray area you want to have in between your black and white. I like to create a softness like this when there's a lot of black, because that's exactly what it does, is just soften it all. I'm going to rinse my brush out. And now I'm going to switch over to my rounded end filbert brush. I'm going to get this brush wet, and I'm going to take white paint, and I'm going to go in the center. And add another layer of white. Because we have a black pre-painted canvas, the black underneath is going to come through a lot, so you might have to take the time to dry it off, wait for it to dry, and then come back with another layer of white, just so that you get that nice brightness that you want. So I'm going to add the final bit of white here. Then we're going to completely dry this off and start coming in with our silhouette. Okay, so I'm going to take my number 3 round brush, add a little bit of water, and I'm going to take some black. Got Mars black here. You can use any black and white that you have though. And I'm just going to start with her head. I'm going to go down just above halfway. So find your halfway mark, just kind of eyeball it, and then go up a little bit. So we're just going to add a circle like this. And we'll add a little bit of hair just by pushing and wiggling. Having the hair flowing gives us the feeling of a bit of a breeze blowing. So you can easily create movement in a painting by doing that. Okay, now we can just bring that over a little bit more, and then we're going to work on her profile. You want to go straight down. Then come out with the nose. Go in, wiggle, wiggle, and then out with a chin. Then we're going to come down with her neck. And chest area. Bring it into her waist. Come down with her leg. Her knee right about here. And her calf. And then her feet somewhere down here. Then we're going to add a V right here for her waist, her back, and her arm. So her arm will come down here. Imagine her shoulder right here. Elbow right about there. And then her other leg will come right here. And then I'm going to take my number 14 filbert brush and I'm going to paint this in. Make her shoulder just a little bit wider there. And I'm going to have her other arm coming out here. So just a little pull halfway, or just almost below her breast area. Elbow right there, starts to thin out, turn over for her wrist and her hand. Okay, then I'm going to take a little bit of water, a little bit of white and the black, and just really thin it out. And I'm going to come in here and add a flowing dress. Just a few lines. You want it to be thinned out, watered down paint so that it looks see-through and light filtered, okay? So we can still see her legs partially through there. And then we'll add a little hint of that. On her shoulder too. Now you can also go back if you want it to really look filtered and add more light and make the material look sheer. You can just take off a little bit of the paint in between, and you're just going to be left with a few of those gray lines for the folds in the material. I'm going to go back to my black with my number 3 round brush. And just add a little contrast here and there. A few more lines. Because her hair is bent down too, we'll have a little bit of hair flowing here, but I want to add some of her hair coming down a little bit like this too. Add a little bit of water and some white to make some gray. Okay, I'm going to come in and add a little bit more light just by adding a little bit of white in here. And then a little bit of black. Okay, so we need to decide what she's going to be holding in her hand. And I thought a butterfly would be really pretty. So I'm just going to use this little round brush, a little bit of water, a little bit of black, and we can just add a pretty little butterfly. So we're going to go up on an angle around both sides, and then add a little body. Little antenna with two little dots and a little line connecting. A few little wiggles, and then a few little lines inside. You don't have to have the in full detail pattern. just going to make the outline a little bit thicker with the black. And then I think I'll have maybe another little butterfly up here. We'll have the top wing bigger, of course, and then we'll just have the bottom wing. We're just going to see one side and have the little butterfly right about there. A little dab and antenna. A little body. And then kind of just water your brush down, thin that paint out. And I just add a few little loops. Okay, so I think it's time to add some wings on this fairy. So I'm going to get a little bit more water and black. And we'll start with the one on the other side. So just kind of like a long oval shape. And then you want to bring it in. And then just start adding a line from the center there that comes up here. And then a few like this. And then just add a little bit of shading here and there. Now I'm not using any more black. All I'm doing is just going around with a little bit of water and loosening up some of that paint that's there. Then I'm going to go back to some black and I'm going to make some of the areas a little bit thicker and add a few little dots and dabs. Okay, now I'm going to work on the next one. And this one's going to come out and start, it's going to come out a little bit farther. We're going to start here and overlap. So we're going to bring it all the way out there. Come down on an angle here. Bring it in this way. And then over. I'm going to use my flat brush to straighten this out and thin that out just a little bit. I'm going to use my liner rigger brush number 2 to add watered down black and gray for the pattern. You want it to be thinned out, that way it looks more delicate. So I'm going to add a little line here. I'm going to use just a little bit more black. And add some lines along the side here. I think it's fun to make up your own patterns. I don't like to look at photos when I'm painting wings. I like it to be my own kind of pattern and print. I think it sets us apart from, it makes it really original. And then you can just go in and add these little dabs for some more prints here and there, making it more your own. And then we're going to come down and add the bottom wings. So we've got the one in the back. We're just going to do this really lightly. Bring it further out there and then down. A few little dots and dabs. I'm adding water each time. Then I'm going to come over top. Bring this down here. Shorter, and then connect it. Keeping it round. I'm going to come in with my filbert brush. Push these out to round them a little bit. Add a little bit of shading in here. Okay, now we can come in with the liner brush again, a little bit of water and black or dark gray, whatever color you want yours to be. And just start adding our little scoops and lines. And then a few little dabs. I'm going to come inside this one and add a little bit more white with my round brush. Just making it look softer. It just kind of sets this one a little bit behind this one more. It looks a little faded. And I'm going to go back over to my filbert brush, add a little bit of white, a little bit of water, Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is take my little toothbrush here I like to use for making stars, get it wet. So just dunk it in the water and then gently load the end of the brush by kind of just a light little scrub like this. And then I'm going to flick for some stars. And now we can add a little bit of sparkle. Just a little bit of sparkle here and there with a round brush. Take a little bit more white. We can add a few little dabs. And then make it look like her wings are sparkly. Add a few stars over here. So I have a whole series of these fairies and goddesses and some maidens. And if you want to do the whole series or see what else I have, check my playlist for portraits, figures. And I've also got, this will also be in my black and white playlist, as well as my fantasy one. So I've got lots of playlists categorized for you guys, so you can narrow down a little bit more what you want to paint and find it easier. I love making playlists. It just makes, and I like it when other channels have playlists too. It makes it so much easier for me to find exactly what I'm looking for. So a little dab in the center of white and then a little T like that. You could also add a little line inside too, or across. And then another dab just to re-brighten it. Maybe we'll have one right here. I don't know, you can just add these wherever you want. Whatever you want to make sparkle in your painting. And then just take the end of your brush and just blend around, creating these little swirls. I'm going clockwise, counterclockwise while I'm moving my brush around. That helps give you a little bit more of a misty, magical, sort of like it creates an aura, you know? I'm going to dot and dab around this wing down here and add some more sparkles. I love to create like fairy dust around the wings as well. It's just so pretty. And then I always go back and redab the center because I'll use it to flick off of and create these. That's what I do. I have tons of videos showing how to create little stars and sparkles in the water, in the sky, for fairy wings. But basically what I do is just add a little bit of white, and then I pull off of that white and flick up and down, sometimes just a little one in the center like that. So whenever you do that, you're taking off the brightest part of the star or sparkle itself. So that's why I go back and just dab again right in the middle. And we'll add just a little bit over on this one as well. Once you learn how to add little stars and sparkles like this to your paintings, you can make a lot of neat effects painting glass and anything really sparkly or shiny. And I'll add one last one right in here. And just add the last little dab of white inside them. Okay, this painting is all done. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Feel free to paint along and leave a question or comment below if you have one. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I do a little happy dance every time somebody subscribes, and especially when you become a Patreon member. I'll have links for both of those below this video, as well as a link to purchase my 5-piece set of brushes. They're cruelty-free, amazing brushes. I designed them, and in collaboration with Craftimo, they produced them for me and are distributing them, shipping them worldwide. So I want to wish you guys all the best in your art journey. Thanks so much for being part of mine, and I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye!